Well, hey, babe. It's JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, we about to get into some Real Housewives. You know I gotta do it. You know we gotta chat about Real Housewives. So go ahead and come on in. Make sure you're liking up the video, you're commenting, you're subscribing, you're sharing the video, you're doing all things because we're getting closer to 95K in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So make sure that you're sharing because sharing is indeed caring. If you keep coming back to the channel, you know what I'm saying? And you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Especially if you're one of those people that come back all the time and you don't be liking my commentary because I don't always agree with you. Girl, you is giving, you love me and I love you back. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we really see each other even when we don't see each other. It's okay. But anywho, we have to talk about Real Housewives because there's a few things I want us to get into, okay? First things first, we got to talk about Kenya Moore. What's going on over there with the hair spa? Because people have been coming for Kenya Moore in this hair spa since she opened it, really. Okay. When she did her soft launch or whatever, people were going down there like, ooh, girl, it look a little empty up in here. Okay. Where she did her little grand opening or whatever it was, that's not the same location as this, that, and the other. And Kenya has had to come out to defend herself on that. And this was during, the time that she was actually on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And since then, there's been different conversations about it. She had her own blow up at her salon that did not really look good and looked to be in her best favor, right? And there's been a lot of speculation. I know a few weeks back or maybe a month or so ago, there was people talking about how they pulled up to her salon. It looked empty. She's not busy. And Kenya had to come out and put a statement out and say, listen, we are open, but it's by appointment only. I got to watch my bag because I'm not just anybody. I can't just let anybody come up in here. All right. Especially the way that you guys did me before I could damn near open my doors. Y'all was on my ass. Okay. So because of that, I have trust issues with you all. So the real people that are actually trying to service us will actually book an appointment. And that's just what it is. But Kenya, I'm going to tell you, and I've told you this before, you need to consider having more at your salon, in my personal, than just hair. Okay. Right. You need to do like special events. Like I saw this post that was so dope. My homegirl sent it to me, and let me tell y'all, it made me want to slide up there to New York just to get this done. But it looks like the lady was servicing like a special event or something. But I'm gonna show it to y'all real quick. So let me try to pull that up. Okay, so give me a second. Girl, I gotta pull this up because I just thought it was so freaking dope, and we're gonna watch it together. Now, if it's any music, then I'm going to mute. But I just thought this was like everything. But again, I don't think they do this on a regular, but I think that they were servicing like a group of ladies and it was like a special experience, right? And this may be dope for some of the brides, if you want your bridesmaids to have a certain type of hairstyle, primarily like if it's like braids or something, and y'all about to go out the country for like your wedding or something. Girl, this right here, girl, this might be litty bitty for like a bachelorette trip or something down there to the New York, if that's what some people want to do. But let's get into it.
Fly with me across the country to get braids? I know what y'all thinking. I know she's not doing this again, but we are. We're going from Dallas to New York for a braid experience that's supposed to be like none other. I'll be the judge of that. But 4 hours later, once we pulled up to the salon, nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to see. Do you see my mouth? I think here's when I realized I had no idea what I signed up for. Just wait. I pulled up to Jolie Den's Beauty Bar in collaboration with Cheese Luxe Braiding Hair. Girl, they gave me a robe, and do you see this setup? Just when I thought I was too stunned to speak, the washing area took my breath away. All you see is me getting my hair washed. But what you don't know is I'm getting a body massage as well because this is a massage chair. Girl, when black women. Just when I thought it couldn't get any better, they gave me shrimp and grits for breakfast. And girl, once I looked up, we were already a few braids in. The boho curls is from Cheese Luxe Braiding Hair, and it's 100% human hair. And I know y'all see the color. I decided to do number 4 for the very first time ever. But wait, why was there a whole dance break intermission? And once I turned back around, why was I being handed jollof rice and jerk chicken? Are you kidding me right now? Baby, my expectations for a hair appointment have been raised. After my second plate of food, I looked up and she was on the last braid. I didn't know how I would like number 4 on me, but baby, a new character is being unlocked. My stylist was hungry because the way she ate this hair up, I literally just had to give her a hug, and she was the most beautiful, sweetest person ever. Like, I just love us. When I tell you I had no idea what my expectations were when I was told to come to this salon, but everything since I stepped foot in here here blew me away. Let me know what y'all think about the braids. And girl, why they gave me a gift bag as well. Goodbye.
Listen, Kenya, you need to get into that just a little piece. I don't know, girl. You might need to host like some special events, special occasion like that. Maybe it's somebody's birthday. Maybe they finna just go on a girls trip, you know, and they just want to get their hair done. Their hair had did it like that, or it's like a bridesmaid thing. Girl, you need to, oh no. And it don't even gotta be braids. You feel what I'm saying? It could be like a special thing where people are getting like, maybe they want to get like a blowout or something with the hair. You know what I'm saying? A little wrap or something, girl, roller wrap. But anywho, I thought that was cute and unique, so I wanted to mention that as we're talking about Kenya Moore in this hair salon. All right, and I was like, oh, that is too cute. Like, girl, you made me want to go and get the full experience and stuff. But as I looked more, I think this was an actual experience for a group of ladies, I want to say. But all in all, it's still a beautiful salon. They did a great job on her hair, and I really love that. And I think there's nothing wrong with getting a bit of inspiration from others. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you could reach out to them and like connect or whatever. But anywho, girl, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business, honey. But yeah, so back to Kenya Moore and people feeling as though her hair salon is abandoned. Okay, since she's left Real Housewives of Atlanta, people want to say that she's really on hard times, you know. But here's the thing, though, y'all. And I don't know if that's gonna happen. I hope that doesn't happen for her. I don't wish bad on anybody's business. You know, when you're not making the money, we just heard Nene talk with Cynthia on her podcast where she talked about, hey, you know, what I miss about Real Housewives is the money. Well, keep in mind, y'all, Kenya got paid from this season. Okay, whether she was in there for 5 episodes or however, whatever it is, okay. It appears Miss Ma'am still got some checks from them. Okay, and we don't know what else she got in the works. She might have something else in the works with NBC Universal, just not technically with Bravo or technically with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Who knows? But you know, she might have some coins. But anywho, you know, there was a narrative that was put out there about her salon, and I did see a video where this guy pulled up to it, and he was saying, "I'm sitting outside, and it looks empty," you know. And I think that could have been a more recent video, but whatever it is, Kenya has said that it's open per appointment. Basically, you can book an appointment with us. But when the Jasmine brand who put this information out, they said that, and let me get this up on the screen for you guys, all right, because Kenya Moore did end up responding to this. All right, they're saying Kenya Moore's hair spa appears abandoned after Real Housewives of Atlanta departure. They're saying Kenya Moore's Atlanta salon appears deserted with no stylist or clients in sight. Honestly, it seems like it's been like that from the beginning, really. So maybe she has always booked by appointment. I don't know. Or maybe it's always been empty. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. But I will say this too. I will say, shout out to her to be if it is empty, solely, then shout out to her for being able to maintain, because when I tell you, I follow this page on Instagram and he literally goes around and talks about like new constructions that are happening in Atlanta and all the businesses that are closing down. When I tell you, it's this one street in Atlanta, not far from what is that? Is that How Mill? It's not far from there, but basically there are like 5 restaurants like all across from each other that are shutting down. Y'all probably know the area that I'm talking about, the people that live here where Bar Taco just closed like last week. There, I think Bostoni or Bastoni, I'm not I think that's how you say it, Bastoni, Bastone. They're supposed to close on Mother's Day. Okay. And speaking of Mother's Day, how dare I? How dare I? Okay, with my mama. Okay, sweatshirt on, baby. First of all, if you're getting this video on Mother's Day, listen, happy Mother's Day to all of the wonderful mothers out there. Shout out to y'all and all of, I would say, the surrogate moms, the mothers that were aunts. Okay, you may not have children of your own, but you was over there looking after somebody else's kid like they your kid. Okay, yes, happy Mother's Day to the village. Period. All right, happy Mother's Day to all of y'all. All right, and my one of my best friends, she's not a mommy yet, but she is. You know what I'm saying? Actually, both of them. Well, one. She is the godmommy to my child, so I'm gonna make sure that she gets her happy Mother's Day too. Okay, and also, you know, part of that because she's the godmom, but then at the same time, you know, speaking that into existence. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, and happy Mother's Day. You know, speaking it into existence for the women that want to be mothers. Okay, period. Okay, come this time next year. Okay, don't rush it. Don't rush it, girl. Please enjoy yourself. Okay, but happy Mother's Day. Okay. Mhm. Happy Mother's Day to Kenya too. Kenya, Porsha, Phaedra, Angela, Drew, Sidora. Who else we got? Kelly. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there. All right. But getting back to Kenya Moore, shout out to her because with her having this business, if it has been empty for many a months or however long it's been open, for her to still be able to maintain that rent and stuff over there in Heights, Buckhead, baby. Okay, I believe it's where yeah, anywho, I'm not gonna get I know exactly where it's located, but anywho, girl, that's high. Okay, that's high. So for you to still be able to maintain while a lot of these places are shutting down, kudos to you. Okay. But they go on to say on April 30th and May 1st, the salon was locked up and no stylists, clients, or administrators entered or exited all day. The fact that y'all sat out that lady salon all day is crazy. The fact that y'all sat out there outside that lady salon is crazy unless y'all went inside to the building right next door to it. And probably asked those individuals like, hey, has this been open at all today? And somebody probably say, oh no, yeah, they've been closed all day. Okay, potentially. Okay. But okay, girl. Okay, but anywho, girl, because I'm like, not y'all sitting outside. So anywho, they're saying despite it's a luxurious set up with purple flowers, curtains, and couches. Witnesses told the U.S. Sun it looked like no one worked there all day. All right, so they got this information from the Sun, and y'all, let me tell y'all know the Sun can be messy, right? All right, and I'm talking about that website. Okay, I think they put out articles as well and stuff like that. They could be salacious at times, just a little piece. Okay, but they also be going extra far with their investigations too. So this is where they're getting the information from, the Sun. But it's still the fact that y'all sat out there all day. Like, girl, y'all ain't got nothing else to do. Anywho, goes on to say Moore opened the Kenya Moore's hair spa in June of 2024, but its activity has drastically declined since her explosive firing from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, this is where I have to disagree with because I feel like this ain't the first time that we've heard this. So it wasn't a drastic decline after her firing. I feel like it's been like that from the beginning, when people would go over there before she really like opened all the way, the soft opening. Like people have just been monitoring her location for the longest. And a lot of times when they've been reporting back for over a year, okay? So June 24th won't even make a year yet, but over a year, it's still been giving like the same vibe. So I don't know if it's always been like appointment only purely. But what I will say is, honestly, my honest opinion, me speaking, is that if there were many more clients, I feel like there would be many more videos of that. Right. So let's get more videos and things out. All right. To show the people that, things are being done there. All right. If there's a hair expo or something that's coming to the city, I say get connected with them in some fashion to where some things will be taking place. Y'all know how like they have the AC3 festivals? And when they have the A3C festivals, like they'll have things taking place at like different locations and stuff. And I think that this should be a part of that. Like when it comes to the Women Expo, that they often have a lot. I think you need to get her street team and be out there. Maybe even have a booth to set up, have a salon or a hairstylist or two, willing to do a few styles on people, minimal styles, maybe just like not washing and all of that, but maybe bumping some hair, doing a little curls or something like that, maybe putting a little hair piece in, some clip-ins or something. Like, Kia, I'm giving you a lot of advice, and I just feel like at this time, Tierra Monet need to call me at this point. Okay, Tierra, call me. Somebody at Tierra on my page and at me on her page over there on the Instagram and tell her to hit me up. Because I like giving ideas. I be having some dope ideas too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could give ideas, girl. I can help write. You feel what I'm saying? Because like when I be watching my show Beyond the Gates over there on Paramount Plus, if you ain't in it, you need to get into it. Period. Come on, every day at 2 p.m., girl. I be telling what's gonna happen. But I always do that. When me and my man watch movies, and he's like, "Baby, you really would do good at writing and stuff." You know what I'm saying, for film and TV. So y'all need to just call your girl, so I can help y'all write stuff, package things up. And then, also I can, I got some ideas and stuff on what you can do. I'm not going to continue to sit here and give it to you for free on the tube, okay? Just call me. We can talk. I mean, take me out to dinner. What's for dinner, bitch? Okay, I like luxury steaks and stuff. The fuck? Like, call me. Tierra, I'm talking to you too, okay? Mm, period. Anywho, so let's keep going. They're saying at her salon's grand opening, Kenya displayed certain photos of a co-star known as Bristol Edie. I believe the photos were very distasteful. Kenya later admitted, adding, "I've taken full accountability." All right. Though she remains active online, posting on Instagram, the spa's real-time status is unclear. A rep for Moore did not respond to the U.S. Sun's request for comment. You just never know who might pop out. All right. Now, the Sun requested that she give them a statement. And I feel like, did y'all really ask that woman? Because she over here on the Instagram giving a statement. So why would she not have given one to y'all? Okay. Hello. Well, consider this the statement, period. All right. So let me slide over here so y'all can really see what this statement is giving. Because Kenya says, very reckless. Ooh, get him, Miss Ken. Get him, girl. Very reckless to regurgitate a false story. We are open and servicing clients when we are open. Book today, styleseat.com/Kenya Moore Hair Spa. IG Kenya Moore Hair Spa. I'm proud. I'm a proud self-made Black woman with multiple businesses since I was 17. Stop playing in my face. Okay? Now listen, Miss Mama done got some kind of coin for her to still have that location open up to date. Okay, to date. Now I don't know what's going to happen in the next year or next year. Okay, I don't know, but what I will say, for her to still have this salon open to date, and people are saying, oh well, she ain't got nobody coming in there, she might not have broke even yet. Right? Maybe she allotted a certain amount to an account to where she's going to be able to pay, the lease or whatever on that location for oh so much along. So shout out to her for that. But to even have it open is a big deal. Okay. And this is no disrespect to Kelly Farrell, but even with her, she's having a challenge right now with her second location that was supposed to be coming to Sandy Springs, which is Nana's Chicken and Waffles. And with that, she's having issues with her ex-husband, who's supposed to be paying certain things like child support or whatever. And I think he was supposed to give her a certain amount of money as well. And I don't know if those needs have been met. And I'm sure some of that money she was going to pour into Nana's Chicken and Waffles. Now, granted, I know some people are gonna feel like child support is for the kids, but however, if she's creating generational wealth for the children, I don't see anything wrong with a little portion. Not all, baby. Not all, baby. Okay, but maybe just a little piece of TC to go into the business. That way, that money that was given to the children would be investments for them, for the family business. I see nothing wrong with that. As we heard Kenya Moore saying, she used up all of Brooklyn's college fund, which I don't really believe for real that she used up all of it. But I'm willing to believe that she used up some of it. You know what I'm saying? And in addition to, Kenya, you have Mark Daly, who is her ex-husband, from my understanding. And he has had issues with a home that he was supposed to be renting out, where they're trying to say, hey, you missed out on paying us. We got to get our money back. And then also on one of his restaurants, if not both, where he's owing money on that. So for Kenya to still be able to have her location open up to date, it's like, I have to give her a hand clap on that, because there's so many businesses during this time that are closing down. All right, they're shutting down one way or the other. So I don't know, but I definitely wish Kenya the best. I'm hoping things get better for her. And if they decide to bring her over to the biggest trader, I would like to see it. I don't know if Kenya's ever done Dancing with the Stars. I think that would be dope. Kenya, you might want to pitch your own show to Netflix potentially, or I don't know, maybe Amazon or something like that. Get over there and get some work done. And who knows, Tyler Perry may try and swoop in and get her some acting opportunities. Okay, because when he feels like injustice has been done to some people, sometimes he'll swoop in and create opportunities for individuals to be able to make some money. So who knows? I don't know the relationship, but girl, I'll be right over there on his door. Hey Tyler, what's up? How you doing? Did you need some coffee? You need some coffee? Okay. Now, I can provide some wigs for the talent. Okay, yes. Kenya Moore hair care. Uh-huh. That's right. That's right. That's right. I can get, yeah, they need their hair washed. Okay, I can get you a few bottles. I can get you some conditioner, shampoo. What else you need? Some serum for that. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do a contract. Uh-huh. Yes, baby. You talking about finessing? But I do feel like Kenya Moore is a hustler. And I think that you know, if this doesn't work out, she's going to find something else. You know what I'm saying? Because Kenya Moore, to be able to go from being, the queen that, that she was, winning her title. And then next thing you know, we start seeing her pop up in all these films, being on television, Martin and all of this stuff, and continuing to be relevant, where if you didn't really know her name, you definitely knew her face, because she was one of those it girls like back then. And to be able to get her over on the Real Housewives and stuff and stay as long as she did, despite, people fuck up. They do. Okay, and she can admit that now, that that was not the best thing for her to do at that time. But you can't let one monkey stop no show. Just a little piece, okay? You mess up, you gotta dust yourself off and try again. So maybe she gonna try again in another arena, and she'll get out there and hustle and get some further connects. All right. So y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on everything about Kenya Moore's location, whether you try to make an appointment there, whether you're looking to make an appointment there and check it out. I don't know. I might. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I don't be like going in the city no more. I don't be like, I don't be liking going down there no more. Okay? The traffic be ignorant. If I ain't got to deal with you bitches in traffic, I'm not going to. Okay? But I might. Because it's a restaurant over there. And me and my husband went the other day. And when I tell you, I love this restaurant. It's like a Mediterranean girl. Let me tell you something. And no, I'm not going to tell y'all, because y'all not finna blow it up. Period. Okay, y'all not finna be no. Y'all not finna make them lines no longer than what they already is. I'm not telling you. But I might, you know what I'm saying, slide over there, give me a little piece of a wash, blow out just a little piece. Now don't trim my hair too much. Now I know I might have a piece of a split in here or there, but I like to retain just a little something. Don't be trying to cut all my hair, girl. Okay, so listen. We'll have to see. Okay, I'm gonna slide over there to the style, see what's going on over there. Okay, y'all know I typically like when my mama, only my mama touch my hair. My mama has done hair for many years and decades, honey. Okay, my mama was a hairstylist. Period. So I be a little skeptic bepty when the people touch my hair and be trying to trim all my hair. Anywho, child, we shall see. Okay, we shall see. Y'all leave your thoughts and comments, honey. But yeah, like I was saying, when you leave your thoughts, I want to get your thoughts on Kenya Moore's hair spa being abandoned. Okay, or if you heard what I heard for many I'm gonna say many a months, over a year. That has kind of been the same thing. And also what I would like for you guys to know is, let me know your thoughts about the Jasmine brand making this post, because I saw people on Twitter being really upset with them for making such a post. Okay, a lot of Kenya fans are not happy about them making this post and putting stories out there, or whatever the case is, But Kenya Moore did come out. She addressed it. She spoke to them. So y'all let me know how you guys are feeling. Do you feel like, they just reporting the news like everybody else? Or do you feel like they could have maybe did a bit more fact checking by reaching out to Kenya and saying, hey, yo, this is what the people are saying. We may run this story. Can you confirm, deny, or whatever, Let me know your thoughts about everything down below. And also, let me know when y'all at Tierra and Ken. Tell them to call me. All right. So, anywho, let's go ahead. And we're going to move on, because there is a scene from this upcoming episode that I want us to check out briefly. And as we spoke on Kelly Farrell and Mother's Day, she is going to be spending some time with her kids. And I want us to just get into that sneak peek just a little bit. So, let us check this out. All right.
I want to call Chance downstairs. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. Chloe, how was your day at school?
I have 2 low B's and the rest are just A's, which is bad.
Okay, well, I get that you want to.
Well, because my dad, he's on me like crazy.
Chloe is my firstborn. She has a different father. We do a really great job at co-parenting. Don't be so hard on your dad. He's a little stressed out. It wasn't always that way, but at this point, we're like brothers and sisters. I know that's weird, but he's like my bestie.
I'm the one being
That's not weird. Let Porsha Williams tell it. I think Porsha and Dennis have a pretty good relationship. I do feel like at times she be trying to gaslight that man, but ultimately, I think that Porsha does have a pretty good baby daddy. In my personal, okay. He may not have been a great man to her in the relationship, but he does show up for PJ. You see, PJ is crazy about her dad. So let Porsha tell it they brothers and sister. But I think Dennis wants that old thing back, and I think Porsha wants a hint of that back. So I can believe that Kelly and her child's dad are best friends at this point. And sometimes you need that space, you need that time to go away from each other and mature to realize that it's really about the child. And I think it does make room for a great relationship, especially when you have to co-parent and you put your feelings aside, right? So yeah, it's possible.
stressed out.
And unfortunately, with my ex-husband, between having restraining orders and threats, I don't know if we'll ever be able to have that type of relationship. Do you mind helping her?
Yeah. Stop that.
She has some beautiful daughters.
Girl,
She
Chance
is
is
so
not gonna
cute.
drive me crazy today. Are y'all ready for a new house?
Oh, yes. You said you were going to get us a Doberman Pinscher.
This townhouse, I swear, it's like the ultimate sorority house. I don't think that it's enough space for all these different personalities. I just gotta water. I want to call Chance downstairs. All these different personalities. I just gotta water the home, and the judge said, like, you have to sell it. And I'm like, who can get this house sold?
Now see Kiana, cause Kiana from what was the show called? Listed ATL, or the ladies? It was the real estate show over there on ATL. I mean, a real estate show of ATL over there on OWN Network. Kiana White said, "Ma'am, you still have me blocked on social media, and I have not said or done anything to you." Okay, well, I did say some stuff on my platform. I ain't go over there to your page and say nothing. Okay, I don't know why you had blocked me, and I had told John Tanner to tell you to unblock me, girl. Anywho, I like what Kiana doing over there in the real estate, and I just be trying to see a little bit. So I hope I bump into her in person, because she gonna have to unblock me on site, BIT. Okay, on site. Period. Well, let's keep going, girl, cause I don't know what's going on.
Like in less than 10 days. The townhouse is definitely supposed to be a temporary solution to our fix. I mean, we did come from a nearly 7,000 square foot home. It's definitely time for us to, grow and have our areas of the home where we can, like, have some privacy.
Here, my madam. Chance. I just want to chill this summer. I just want to be a teenager.
You can still be a teenager and work. I'm still a mom and I work.
Okay, but I'm young. You're,
Oh, y'all trying it. So let me hear your goals, Chastity.
So my first goal is to become a chef.
You want to be a chef?
If you really think about it. Also, my mom can't cook like that.
Well, Chance, maybe you can teach him how to cook.
Now, first of all, I would have to put you out, because what you're not going to do is sit up here and say, I don't cook like that. And then we got Angela over there talking about the food was dry and wasn't that good when they had that brunch. And I do believe that was the food from Kelly's location, from her spot. Okay? So, girl, you wrong for that, airing your mom out like that, girl.
All these different personalities.
This is a family business, honey. But anywho, I'm loving this episode, especially for it to be Mother's Day. I am loving the episode of Kelly sitting down with her daughters. Just so cute. Her husband did submit a cease and desist. He does not want his children on the show. I do believe he has joint legal custody of the kids. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, as they are continuing to show the children for the past 2 episodes since he sent that notice in. But I love to see it, though. I love to see it. And it sounds like Kelly wants her daughter to get a job. Her daughter wants to just be a teenager. Girl, I remember the days when I wanted to get a job so bad, but I was running track and I was on the cheerleading team and my grades were good and I still wanted to get a job. My mama was like, no. It was giving heavy on the no, you're not working. No, my mama would not let me work. Okay. Actually, she wouldn't let none of us work for some reason. Okay. But yeah, my mama wouldn't let me work, and I still did the cheerleading team. I was a captain, and then I also went on to just run track or whatever. I like to have a busy schedule, but baby, maybe she clearly knew something that I didn't know, because baby, I would have raked them checks for sure. But I guess I didn't really have the time to work for real. I guess when I look at my schedule and stuff, I guess I didn't have the time to work, but I still wanted to get like a little part-time. I didn't care if it was like 2 hours here or there. My mom was like, absolutely not. Yikey dikey, but okay, girl, let's keep going. So I love this episode with Kelly and her daughter, and I'm just looking forward to seeing, like, what is the end result? Is she going to get a job? Is she not going to get a job? What you going to do? Okay, maybe you could give her a job around the house and maybe, I guess, pay her for that potentially or something. I don't know. Maybe hire her at your if she could work at the doggone Nana's Chicken and Waffles. How about that? Okay, but I know I used to like sweep up hair and stuff like that, fold towels, wash towels at the shop. Okay, and I used to get my coins. Period. But that was like when I was in like junior high, elementary school, But when I started getting busy in high school, it was like, nope. But anywho, y'all, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Now, the next thing that I want us to get into, and I know, don't cuss me out, girl. I know y'all finna chew me up just a little bit, but we're gonna get into it. I know we don't like this person at times, okay? And probably all the time. But that's Sidora's husband, soon to be ex-husband, Ralph, okay? Him downstairs, he did another upload of his podcast where he names this episode Liar, Liar. And it seems like he's going to be referring to Drew being a liar. And I want us to check it out and see what he's talking about. Because if you ask me, if Drew is a liar, I just feel like she's not a liar by herself. And that's one thing that irritates me with this show. They like to over exaggerate Drew's quote unquote lies. But what about other folks on the show that be up here lying in y'all damn face? Hello? Okay, so everybody on the show is a liar, and Ralph would be included in that number. So when you're over there pointing a finger, understand you have a few more pointing back at you. So therefore, she's not the only liar in the room. But we're going to get into it. We're going to check it out. So let's do that. Now, first of all, for the people listening, I do have the speed super fast. Okay, so hopefully you guys can catch up. Or if you're able to slow it down, you can slow it down. Press that settings gear, slow it down, speed it up, however you need to. But I'm going to need to run through what it is that he's saying. Okay, so let us get into it.
Another episode of Ralph in the Basement, and today's topic is going to be liar, liar. And let me tell you, liars are really interesting people. But before we even jump in, I also need to take a moment to be more authentic, especially for everybody that's watching. I think it's really important, especially for the people that have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta and they have their different opinions. I've seen the comments. People have said, hey, it looks like Ralph and Drew are lying. People have said that, scenes with us look cringy. And let me tell you, I couldn't agree more, because some of the times I watch it, and let me tell you, I'm saying things that I could not say before while we were a unit and together. But now that we're going through this divorce, you can't deport me, baby. I'm talking my talk. I got a lot to say and get off my chest too. But it's all going to be positive stuff, some of it. But listen, it's all going to be real and authentic at the same time. One of the things that I will definitely go and say is I don't believe that Drew and I show up on reality TV the way that we show up in real life. And it bothers me. It's bothered me for the last 4 years because, you know what I'm saying? I've seen Drew cry more on reality TV than I've seen her cry in real life. Like, it's kind of crazy, but I understand it. I understand the game, I mean, it's a play damsel in distress mode, but that damsel in distress, it works really well because it gets people to pull on your heartstrings, and then all of a sudden, people empathize with you. Me, I'm just who I am. Like, I'm not an actor at all. I'm just showing up as Ralph, and love me or hate me, whatever it is that you feel, this is how I'm going to be, because that's the only person I know. You know what I'm saying? This is how, I'm not going to say this is how my mama made me, but this is how I got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? And I love myself, and I'm authentically me, and I'm happy about that. That's all I can really ask for. Things I care about is my character and my integrity, and that's something that I can't go and change. But at the same time, I understand that there's some things that I should have also learned. And I think one of my big regrets, even dealing with my marriage, is that I should have gotten acting lessons from Drew. I think we would have showed up differently. All right, I'm gonna give you an example, right? We had this scene that was amazing, right? It was just recent. I came upstairs for my parenting time, and mind you, reality TV dictates what happens in your real life, right? And so, of course, it's my parenting time. I'm coming up to be with the kids. It's my weekend, I go upstairs, and all of a sudden, she asks me a question. She tells me she wants to have a conversation with me about something, and then all of a sudden, she blindsides me and says, Ralph, you're supposed to pay for the exterminator. And I'm like, wait, what? Now, of course, if you say something that's capped to me, you're going to get a reaction, just because that's who I naturally am. And on top of that, it doesn't sit well with me. My natural facial response is going to be like, what are you talking about? And that right there is exactly how you can pull me in. And so from my perspective, this is how it goes. In her mind, it goes, all right, Ralph, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and do something that I know is going to trigger him. And he's going to say something, and it's going to turn out bad. And then that's going to give me my opportunity to cry. And that's going to get the people going.
But she didn't cry. I don't recall her crying. I just really recall her leaving out the door like, okay, yeah, no, not going to have this conversation with you. Maybe she cried in the car, potentially. Because at the end of the day, it is stressful, right? And I just want to hear more. So if you're going to talk about the lies, Ref, I'm just going to be honest, because it does appear that on the show, you're going to be trying to claim a portion of her LLC, which I don't think is fair, and you have yet to present your own records. Like, even shout out to Girl Is That Legal. When I listened to her talk about it a bit, this is what Drew's had to say. They haven't even gotten your, I guess, deposition or response or whatever it is. We haven't even gotten your stuff yet. You're still not showing where your money is coming from, right? But on your LinkedIn, it appears as though you have a job. All right. But I don't always trust LinkedIn, because a lot of times people will have a job listed and they haven't been at their job for years. A lot of people they enjoy their privacy, and they don't like to be tracked like that. All right. So some people may potentially make their page private, or they're just not going to update unless they're like looking for a job at the time. Then they may update all the records and stuff. But, yeah, sometimes what you see isn't always what you get unless you're able to go to that company's website and actually pull up that person's name in the directory of some fashion. But I don't know if that's the case for Ralph. But what else do you do? I have to put fault on Drew because it's like, ma'am, to give this man so much access to your LLC and control over you because that's your partner is crazy to me. But then again, you guys did get married very quickly. I believe they got married in less than 6 months or within 6 months. All in all, it was within a year of like meeting each other. And they stayed married for quite some time, right? And I'm sure they've had their issues in their marriage, but it definitely escalated. Okay. It was heightened once they were brought on the show because whatever she saw as being okay was pure disrespect to us, and we called it out. And so did her friends call it out for what the hell it is. Like, disrespectful ass man. Like, you're just not beating the allegations for me for you to hop down to Tampa and do what you do. Like, what else you got going on? And it's so funny because it kind of makes me think of, Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor. Tiana wanted the records to be private. He wanted everything out in the open because I guess he felt like some things were going to expose her. But ultimately, it really just looked bad on him. So it's like, be careful. Okay, be careful with that intention because it could backfire on you. Right. I mean, there were some things that were mentioned in the documentation from what was read, because I heard that it was very lengthy, but they only had like a few of the documents. And some things were that, Drew filed for unemployment. I know that may be a wow thing to a lot of people, but not necessarily. I mean, when you're on a contract and then you ain't got that contract no more, I think that's something common that people may do, especially in this reality world, right? When I saw that Alexis Sky, formerly of Love and Hip Hop, when she was able to get Medicaid for her daughter, a lot of people like drug her for that. Like, what, you not making enough over there? Whatever the case is, obviously not. Obviously not. If she's living in New York or wherever her grandmother was at the time, that's high as hell. And I guarantee you, they not paying her like that to be on the show. And you got bills that accumulate, and you have this daughter that has special needs. So insurance is high as hell. So if she could qualify for Medicaid, I'm sure that she would while working on this show. And then you also can get unemployment and still work a job. I think that it's just about how many hours that you do or whatever the case is. I think it may be different per state, but if she was able to qualify, that it is what it is. Obviously, that's what they do. To me, that's not an uncommon, like, oh my God, Drew fell for unemployment, girl, da-da-da-da-da. Like, child, listen, all she could do was fill out the paperwork. If they sat up there and denied her, that's on them. Obviously, she was able to qualify in some type of fashion, and I'm willing to believe she's not the only housewife that's done it. It's just that her information is the one that's out there, right? And then also it was a situation where they said she tried to shut down the LLC that he was, I guess, a part of, or at least she created during the marriage. And she went and created a completely different one or two in a whole nother state, trying to pretty much cancel him out from receiving any funds of that. I think he would also manage the taxes and things. So it seems like he would manage a lot of the money. And it seems like the money that Drew Sidora was making, according to when I watched Simone's video, the money that Drew Sidora was making through that LLC is the money that Ralph would also use to pay the bills and stuff. So technically, you're saying that you pay all the bills in the house, but do you? Because you're using her money to pay the bills, just like you went and signed off on that house without her knowledge, and you just moved y'all into a house. Now, granted, I'm going to give it to you because that house, I haven't seen pictures fully, but I know that house is beautiful. Just from what we see in the pictures from the show, just from seeing the basement, because I love Georgia basements, okay, when they're finished, okay, a lot of y'all asking for too much for y'all houses, and the basements is not getting finished, but you need to go back and finish some things before you try and ask for a meal on a regular digger ass house, okay? But aside from that, the basements be giving. It's like a whole nother apartment down there. And if you got like 2 bedrooms or whatever in the basement, then that's even better. Some of them just got like a little 1 bedroom, they got the full kitchen. You can have a refrigerator. You can have a washer and dryer down there. Got your own bathroom. Like, it's really dope. If you may have like a teenager or something that's going off to college and they don't want to live on campus, you can put them down there and start teaching them some responsibility of paying rent to you, even if it's not a lot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It got its own entry. It's hella dope. So when Ralph living down in the basement, yeah, I joke on him and say him downstairs, but the basement's nice as hell. Like, make no mistake about it, majority of the Georgia basements that are finished, okay, they nice, okay. They be having some things down there, okay. Whole other apartments, 1 to 2 bedroom apartments down there. But all in all, what else were you contributing? Did you have a job? What did the job look like? How much of your finances were going into the home aside from hers? Because let's not act like Drew was booking a lot of gigs before Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know that she booked the TLC show, after being on The Game, I believe it was. I can't remember if the TLC movie came before or after. I think it came after The Game. right? She booked that. She may have had some other smaller roles, if that. But once she got on Housewives, I feel like I was really excited to see her. I feel like a lot of, opportunities begin to come her way. Okay, so I mean, to say that she's an actress, a lot of you niggas are actors. Okay, honestly, whether you're in the field or not, some of y'all are better actors than the actors on set. High key, okay, because I feel like you acting right now in this video. And that's just, my thoughts. And granted, I only am judging you based on what it is that I see. I don't have all the facts, but when you try to bring some of the facts to the front, they don't make sense. You act like you have the best interest for Drew when you decide to then shade her. Oh, I'm sorry that things didn't work out the way that they did. Then you turn around and you shade the mother of your kids, right? And I'm not saying that she's any better, but right now I'm on you, okay? And then you turn around and when she's dropping her album release and she's doing this great thing for herself, you want to sit up there and SHI on her by putting a full statement out when the show came out 7 days ago. Okay, so your actions are not like, if whatever you say about her, you can say about you too, if that's the case. All right, because at the end of the day, you guys did choose each other. All right, so if she gonna be a fool, y'all fools together. Okay, that's just okay. So what they used to say back in the day, I know you are, but what am I? Okay, that's what it's given. Your mama. Okay, you. Hello. Ooh, let's keep going, because Ralph, I think I'm gonna be tearing into you.
People are gonna feel so bad for me and want to wrap their arms around me, and it works for her. She's amazing at it. She's the best in the business. Matter of fact, and so this is how the scene went. It was like, hey, you know what, Ralph? You're supposed to pay for the exterminator. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like, well, yes, you are. My attorney said it. I'm like, and then plus, I got a lot of things, that'll take some things off my plate. I'm like, what do you have on your plate? It's just an honest question. What do you have on your plate that's stopping you from paying this $100? I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's really not even much. And I don't really care about the money because $100, bro, let me tell you, I waste $100 as soon as I open my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like $100 goes very fast.
True.
It's nothing really to me. Of course, in the scene, it's cut short. At the end, I actually say, well, give me the number. I'll call him. And then she gets in the car and says, and he just came upstairs and he never comes upstairs during his parenting time. He just comes up to the driveway. I never see him. And I'm like, yes, I do. I always come upstairs during my parenting time. I mean, that's the whole idea,
But even her sister highlighted the fact that that's not something common that you do. She did seem to be genuinely surprised. Even the kids seemed to be surprised that you came up there. Like, what? Like, dang, you coming up here already? I ain't even left the house yet. Give me time to get the hell out the house.
I'm sure the producers told you I was coming upstairs. I mean, like, look, at the end of the day, they're in the house. They want to make sure they capture a scene of us in our living dynamic. Was that really a moment to cry? Because we talking about the exterminator, which we shouldn't even be talking about, because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. I don't care about nothing else. She can put that junk in an app, She can give me a note. She can do anything. That's not something to even talk about on reality TV. But now, if she...
Now, that I do agree with. I do feel like that is something that could have been put in the app, too. Because I believe I said that. Like, why is that something? Like, just like some of this stuff can... If it's going to be in the app, just put it in the app, so that the judge can have what they need to have. So I don't fully disagree with him here. I do feel like they needed to do what they needed to do for the scene.
Taught me how to act, I would have done it different. It would have been something like, she would have been like, Ralph, you're supposed to pay for the exterminator. I'd be like, you know what? You're right. You should. And I apologize for not knowing that already. And
you missed
what else? Because you are my moon, my sun, my stars, my guiding light. And I will simp out for you in any way that I need to.
He's so amazing.
And then she'll be like, oh my God, he's amazing. What can I do for you? It could be something like that. Then scenes probably wouldn't be cringy. But she didn't teach me, she didn't give me acting lessons. That's the one thing. I should have probably got those acting lessons. It's the one thing that I did not get in this divorce that I'm kind of mad about. Damn, I should have got those lessons because they probably would pay off. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back into focusing on the topic of this episode, liar, liar. So there's multiple types of liars, right? You have your first kind of liar, who is the person that wants to avoid taking accountability for different things. Typically, they don't want you to see them a certain way. And so they'll go and pose a lie to save face, to make sure that you don't see them in a negative light. That's really kind of what it is. They avoid looking bad. That's the whole thing. Avoid looking bad at all costs. And so they will lie to you in order to do so. And so a lot of people have done it. Matter of fact, I would say probably the majority of people in the world everybody has probably lied one time in their life. I've done it, I've had my instances. And really, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not at a point to where I don't even look at liars in a very negative way, depending on the kind of lie, and depending on if it hurts me or not, But I look at liars and I kind of laugh at them because I can see why they're lying. And I can look through a lie really quick. First, I'm an Aquarius one, right? But also, I grew up in a school of hard knocks.
Basically, that means that it takes a liar to know one.
I went through my own challenges learning I had to get lied to in order for me to become a good lie detector, right? So, matter of fact, talking about my own experience, when I was in high school, something that a lot of people may not know, if you know who I really am, though, I used to be a tow truck driver when I was in high school. And so, being a tow truck driver in high school, I wanted a car. And of course, I work around a bunch of people that tow cars on a daily basis. And so, as I was in this, and mind you, I told you, I came from the bottom, right? I earned everything. I earned everything that I have. And as I was doing this job, I had a guy come to me. He was like, yo, Ralph, I know you're looking for a car. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Another black dude, real cool. I'm not going to out his name, but you know who you are, bro. Dude came to me. He was like, hey, listen, Ralph, I know you're looking for a car, man. Look, I got a car for you. My boy, my cousin, he's about to, he got a situation going on. So they got an extra car that they need to go and get rid of. And you know what I'm saying? So I can get this car for you for like $500. I was like, word. He's like, yeah, look, this is what it is. Look, I can go and get it for you. I'm going to bring it to you. X, Y, Z. He's a tow truck driver. We work together. I'm thinking that, everything is good. I give him the money. Yo, dude quits. Never see him again. I'm like, God damn. So I tell another dude about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, man, dude just took my money and ran off. I don't even know where he at. He was like, man, that's real whack, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, look, I got somebody that got a car too. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna go and get this car for you, whatever like that. It's a sob. Show me the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Talk to me about the person. It's like, look, I'm about to go and grab it right now and get it to you. Like, it's gonna be I'm gonna get it for you for the low. He was like, yo, I'm gonna get it for you for $450. It's all-wheel drive and everything. Everything checked out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I gave him the money. He left also. I was like, ain't this about a bitch? Everybody's I'm in high school. I'm naive. Mind you, I don't know people. I'm first and foremost, I'm the youngest dude probably ever to work there. And I'm working with a whole bunch of grown men, 30 years old, and I'm like 17, 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm young,
Okay, let's get to the point, baby. Because I'm finna skip forward. Sorry, y'all.
Right? I'm telling you, if you want to get wiser and smarter, this is the thing about what God does in your life as well. I mean, like, this is what God does, right? If you ask God to become wiser and smarter, then God is going to put people in your life to give you challenges, right? Or he's going to bring storms to you to make you smarter so you know how to navigate different situations. That instance of what I went through allowed me to get smart. I'm like, God, nobody will ever be able to play me ever again. It's just different levels as you go higher and higher and you start to climb because, man, as you go higher and you climb the ladder, you're going to be faced with different devils that you've never seen before. That's the one thing about climbing the ladder. It gets lonely as you get to the top because not as many people can relate to you, but you deal with different demons. And you need to know and figure out how to navigate those. And a lot of the times, you got to learn how to navigate the demons at the level you're currently at before you can go to that next level and think you're going to be able to be a boss there. You can't do it. That's why you got to go and conquer where you currently are. So listen, going forward, at the end of the day, it's different liars, right? So you got the type of liar that they'll lie to you because they want something from you. They want to take advantage of you, but they want to change their situation. They're going to use you as a stepping stone to get what they need. That's a classic instance why people lie. Does that mean that they're bad people? Sometimes, and sometimes not.
So basically, you're not a bad person. I understand. Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. Real talk, I actually am not mad with a liar that can come to me and actually be real because it's a matter of how you handle the situation and the context of why you lied, right? So if you did something because you didn't want to look bad, you didn't know exactly how I was going to react to a situation, but you can come clean and be like, look, Ralph, man, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. I understand my mistake. And you can show empathy for it and also promise that you'll never do it again. And tell me exactly how you'll never do it again, Because I already know. I figured you out. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what the play is and what the plan is. I'm going to listen to it, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to treat you from there and I'm going to take it from there. So you got that one that actually apologizes, but you got the other ones, the other liar, they 10 toes down, they taking that lie to the grave. They never going to admit that they were wrong or they did something or they swindled you. You got those liars and they 10 toes down. Y'all know some of them, you know what I'm saying? And I know them as well. And so it's funny also to me when somebody lies and they act as if I don't know that they're doing it. Like, but they know they got their junk together. I know somebody that lied to me and they'll change their story as they're talking. And so your story is changing as you actually are going through it. I'm like, oh, so is this the final version? It's wild to hear it. All right, cool. All right, bet. So this is what you want me to believe. Bet. Got it. And so I'll listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It is just absolutely hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's the kind of liar. That's one particular type. You got the second type of liar.
Let's keep going. Is there anything else about Drew, baby?
Put out in the universe, you're going to get in it.
Because you're speaking a lot about yourself right now.
Actually, never really happened, but now it's your word against theirs. For the fellas, this is also why y'all got to protect yourselves. For the mothers of sons, this is also things that y'all got to go and tell y'all sons because y'all got to make sure that y'all sons don't get caught up in the game as well. Because a woman can go and tell and say, hey, you know what? He did this to me. And guess what? It's their word against yours. How do you prove that you did not do this thing that they said they did?
I don't disagree.
And so in a lot of
I've literally witnessed that with people. So that's why I'm not always so quick to be like team victim. I'm team what are the facts? Team sit back and watch and see what happens. Okay, because men lie, women lie. Period. Nobody's a saint in all situations. So I can't automatically, for me, step out and be like, a lot of times, oh, I'm on this person's side. I'm on the victim side. I mean, like, I don't know if they're really a victim, hockey, right? I know that sounds good for people to say on social media so that they can avoid getting dragged or whatever the case is. And maybe that may be genuinely how some people feel. But I just be like, let me just see what's going on. Because I don't know, right? So, but in this case, speaking on you, Ralph, you ain't no victim.
These instances, men are guilty until proven innocent. And being proven innocent is
I really don't
look, listen, this is what you can do. You can actually ride with your girl that lives around the corner from us, and then, she can take you home, and then you're good. I got to make it because she wasn't responding to me. I get the text message while I'm already at the house. All right, Ralph, I'm here. And I'm like, I'm already home, you know? So all of a sudden she got upset, hung up on me and everything like that. I'm assuming
Okay, let's go back to the piece.
And that's the real situation. Let me tell you, I'm gonna say, I almost was a victim of this, you know? And I am, technically, I have definitely been here too. I've been here, but I had a situation with somebody I dated before. This is what she did, right? I had a situation where I had to go to work.
So catch this, y'all. He says, I had a situation with somebody I dated before, but then he slid the picture of the person in. I can't.
You know? And I am, technically, I have definitely been here too. I've been here, but I had a situation with somebody I dated before. This is what she did, right? I had a situation where I had to go to work the next day. I was supposed to take her home from this party, and she was taking a very, very long time coming out. And so I sent her a text message, hey, I gotta go. I got a meeting at 5 a.m., for Europe. So I gotta actually go and make it home so that I can go and do whatever I need to go and do. Look, listen, this is what you can do. You can actually ride with your girl that lives around the corner from us, and then, she can take you home, and then you're good. I gotta make it, because she wasn't responding to me. I get the text message while I'm already at the house. All right, Ralph, I'm here. And I'm like, I'm already home, So all of a sudden she got upset, hung up on me and everything like that. I'm assuming that she's just gonna come back to the house. What she did is she decided to go and create a whole story, right? She goes and finds, now mind you, I've always lived in really nice communities for the most part, So she goes and finds a dark road in a really expensive community with all millionaires, right? You know what I'm saying? And finds a dark road and goes and creates this whole entire scene and says, it's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm all alone and I'm out walking in the dark and I'm so scared. Why would he do this to me? Oh. And then she went and stopped it and had another take. It's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm all alone. How I know this is because I ended up getting the phone and I saw the takes. I was like, oh, she's about to set me up. She's about to set your boy up. God was on my side, because if that would have came out and it would have went to like TMZ or something like that, I would have been cooked. I had to go to the police just to let them know, like, hey, let me tell you something. A situation just happened. The junk is not real. Here's the videos. This is take number 1, take number 2, take number 3. This is where the street that it happened. Hey, at the end of the day, the junk is cat. But if that would have gotten out to anybody or to the general public, it would have caused a major thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would have went crazy. And of course, it would have been the whole entire Damsel in Distress, Little Red Riding Hood, Carly Russell. I don't know if, matter of fact, if the story actually would have came out and she would have went, it probably would have, the police might have investigated it, and then all of a sudden she would have probably went to jail. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Carly did. Matter of fact, Jussie did. Something happens. Let me tell you, not everyone gets away with playing that game. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that liar number 2. You don't want to be deceiving like that. Because, but I get it. You want somebody to treat you right. And I believe the reason why they do that is because they want to inflict so much pain on you that it forces you to change. I'm gonna make you treat me the way that I want you to treat me. And how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna create this story here, and this story is gonna force you to change. So it's either you can do it on your own, you can do it the easy way, or I'm gonna do it the hard way. Which one would you like? Typically those plans backfire though. Sometimes, not all the time though, a lot of people end up in jail. Little history lesson here. It happened to Emmett Till. Look, she confessed on her deathbed that she made the whole story up. Like, guess what? She lied to go and make herself look good, and she created this story. Hey, look, this is what happened to him. I'm telling you, man, it goes back. This isn't nothing new. So, it's old tricks. New day, same old tricks. And you got to just make sure you protect yourself, because liars will lie. We just got to make sure we're doing a great job of, number 1, protecting yourself as a liar, and try to detect lies before they actually have any kind of impact. But as mentioned, I'm not really too mad about lies, the first category, as long as you don't lie and it impacts me in any kind of way. But once you impact my life, we got a major problem. We got a major problem on our hands now. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something about it. Something got to change. But let me tell you, I
feel like, of course, Ralph is going so hard at Drew in my personal, because he doesn't like how he's being portrayed on television, but you have to admit that you contributed to that. Like, you can blame Drew all you want, but you contributed to that. We didn't like you since we found out that you fled to damn Tampa and you was over there watching her in the house, but not really wanting to answer the phones or anything, up and leave, not really wanting to tell her certain stuff. Like, you put her in a position, in my opinion, to look a fool on television. So now that it backfired on you, okay, now you want to be on her head top. And I think that Drew wanted this divorce. They're saying that Drew was the one that filed first, but I did hear that they both were rushing down to the courthouse to beat the other. I thought Ralph got his paperwork in first, but when I listened to Simone, it appears that Drew got hers in first. But yeah, okay, I don't know. Y'all need to get it together though.
Say this: there are a lot of people that actually like to get lied to. So as everybody probably is like, man, I can't stand a liar, because that's what you hear. Like, I hate liars. But actually, do you really? Because I'm going to say this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just go and pick on women for a second. Women, you want to hear all of these great, sweet nothings sometimes. Tell me that I'm beautiful. Tell me that I'm attractive. Tell me that I look good. You didn't say anything good about my hair. You got all of these particular things and requests that you want. But what if the guy doesn't think that particular way at that moment? You didn't tell me that you love me. What if I don't love you today? What if I only just, what if I could just tolerate you today because we are beefing, or we had, a difference of opinions, or guess what? I don't think that you're very beautiful today because of whatever you have on, or I think that you may need to lose a few pounds. It could be anything, but the truth actually would hurt you. So some people are like, yo, you know what? Don't, tell me and lie to me like you lie to those other people. Don't bring me the truth, because the truth hurts. I know myself. I'm brutally honest. That's one of my big problems. So I'd rather just tell you the truth so that we don't play these games and you don't think that it's one thing versus another. Nah, let me just tell you exactly what it is, and then nobody's confused. You may not necessarily like the delivery, and I gotta work on that a little bit. I could be a little bit.
So then when it's returned to you, you have to be okay with it, because you're such an honest person. So when that person is honest with you, because you appear to not like liars either, unless it affects you, let you tell it. So when she is brutally honest with you and tell you that she don't like that fat back on that stomach, okay, or on the back of that neck, then you got to be okay with that too. You know what I'm saying? When she don't like how you're parenting, or she doesn't like how you hit the spot that you think you hitting but you really not, you have to be okay. You have to be accepting of that, right? Because you could be brutally honest. So I just hope that you could accept it in return.
A little rough, a little too blunt, but at the same time, you can never say that Ralph didn't tell you. Matter of fact, I mean, that's a real good thing. Ask anybody from my past, I'm gonna drink to that. People, you don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. There's no real reason to do it, but I understand why some people may choose to. And so, number one, making sure that you understand, and making sure, I would say this, like,
Skip.
I don't even know, sometimes they be like, hey man, I'm related to Michael Jordan. Why would you say that?
Now that was crazy.
You know you ain't related to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? We were living in Chicago. We would have went to his house. Like, never has that ever happened. Never.
That's crazy.
So it's like some people just like to just lie just for the sake of just lying. Like, and you got those people, I mean, at the end of the day, but understand how to navigate and who people are, that right there is the big thing. But also ask yourself, can you handle the truth?
Can you handle the truth, sir, when it comes knocking at your door? You can't even provide the courts with the truth, is what it seems, because they still waiting to see what your money was that you contributed to the household, okay? But you keep bringing forward her stuff. I don't know, Ralph. Like I said, I don't think everything you're saying is cap, okay? I don't. I'm sure Drew has her things. However, I just don't think that she's a person that has her things on her own, okay? Y'all both is flawed as fuck. And it's just what that is for me. Okay. Now, that's all that I got for you guys at this time. If y'all want to hop in and, tear him a new one, then I'm going to allow you guys to do what you do. All right. If you want to hop in and you want to be an advocate for Ralph, you have every right and range to do and choose what it is that you choose to. Okay. I be wanting to see the best in everybody. I'm not even going to hold you, because y'all be getting on my head top when we get into our body cams. Like, Jami, you just be trying to see the best in everybody. I do be trying, because I understand that people are human. They may make stupid ass mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a heaven or hell to really put them in, high key. And I don't get the final say on their life when it's about to be wrapped up. Okay, so I try to understand that people be human and stuff like that. And, I'll get on their head top sometimes when I feel like, okay, you was wrong, you was out of line. But then I try to give people some grace at times, because, I mean, we human, right? And a lot of times it is easier for us to say a lot of things of what we would and wouldn't do and just give our opinions when we don't have to live in the spotlight that they live in, right? So, I mean, like, Ralph may not be that bad of a guy, right? I don't like his antics, but he might be cool as shit as a I don't want to say a friend, but maybe a person, maybe a friend. I don't know, but just not a partner. Who knows? But I do feel like this ain't it. And I really wish Drew would get on her platform and eat your ass up sometimes. Okay? I feel like she ain't even saying half of the SHI that you may have done. But, and maybe she probably do be lying. Maybe she go to extra extent to get some attention out of you because you don't be giving her the attention she needs. Who knows? But the marriage will be wrapped up soon, all right? I'll leave you guys to have this conversation amongst yourselves, all right, down below. Of course, I am Jami, that's me, okay? You can find me on social media at Jami, that's me. Be sure to follow, subscribe, all of the great things, share the videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, telling my priest to the choir, stand with my feet to the fire, give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim.